Okay, guys. Today I'm gonna cover the Indian subcontinent with you. That just basically means India, areas surrounding India as well. We're gonna go into a time now of new material. So we're all done with Africa. First off, I hope all of you and your families are doing well, um, staying safe, practicing social distancing, and all of that. Be talking to you guys today from outside on my back patio. So might hear some birds, things, but should be able to hear me pretty clearly. So this will be some new material for you guys, and then you'll have an exit slip question to answer afterwards. So first, just some physical geography. The piece of land jutting out from the rest of Asia is the Indian subcontinent. That includes six or so countries, not just India. It's one of the most unique geographic regions in the world. Very large mountain ranges that separate it from the rest of Asia. The Himalayas, world's highest mountain, is one of those. Uh, Also, some rivers and plains. The Indus River that we talked about, which was home to the ancient India civilization. Just a few pictures there. You can see the kind of area that we're talking about here. Variety of climates. So, deserts, subtropical, tropical. Monsoons have a very big influence on the weather. From June to October, summer monsoons are going to bring moist air from the Indian Ocean, very heavy rain and floods. In 2005, for example, Bombay received 37 inches of rain in 24 hours. So, very heavy rains and flooding. Variety of natural resources, including agriculture and mineral resources, very fertile soil, and also have iron ore and coal. There to the left, you will see just your different climate zones. This slide will be these slides will all be posted on Classroom as well, so you can go back and look at them at any time. You don't have to watch the video just to see it. If you ever need to go back and look at it, all these slides will be posted. Moving on, we're going to do this part of this section here, and that'll be it for today. But ancient civilizations and powerful empires have really shaped the history and the culture of of India. Vasco da Gama, he was a traveler. He was hired by Portugal to find a water route to the east. He set sail in 1497, reached the port in India in 1498. He was the first European to establish direct trade with Asia. So there was trade before that, but it was not considered direct trade. Here you're going to see British India in the 1700s compared to British India in the 1800s. You can tell Britain comes in and begins to play a big role in India in the 1800s. So they come in the 1600s to trade and set up trading forts, much like them and other European countries did in Africa. The British East Indian Company wanted to trade in rare and expensive goods, things like pepper, cinnamon, ivory, sugar, gold. But not only did they come to trade, they came to stay. So, as that map showed you, by the 1800s, the British had taken over most of India. They had their own army, taxed the people, set up governments, and exported India's materials back home to be made into finished goods. So they're in India to stay. They want to set up and maintain some power there. Now, there's going to be, like we talked about before, positives and negatives when another group of people comes into your country. Some positives: the British built new roads, railroads, telegraphs, schools, hospitals, and brought new jobs to India. But some of the negatives were that they had heavy taxes, unfair government representation. They had to buy expensive British finished goods, and the Indians were treated as second class citizens in their own country. The Indian National Congress of 1885 was created to drive the British out of India and create an independent Hindu country. Uh, Gandhi is soon going to become their leader. And that's who we're going to spend the rest of our time on today and really this week too. I want you guys to learn a lot about him because he was a very important and influential person in India. The Muslim League of 1906 was formed to fight for a separate Muslim nation as well in India. So Gandhi, he believed in using nonviolence to shame the British out of India. He believed that violence only breeds more violence, and that if you're going to be violent, it's going to end up accomplishing nothing. So Mohandas Gandhi becomes the leader of the national movement in India in 1915. Here you can see Gandhi is reading at home. He's got a spinning wheel, which is a symbol of self-sufficiency during the struggle for independence. In 1930, Gandhi led a 200-mile-long march to protest that salt, a basic human necessity, was being too heavily taxed by the British. Thousands of others joined him on this salt march, and it became an important turning point for the freedom struggle in India. Um, Many were jailed um, for really just bogus charges like civil disobedience, but this really paved the way for freedom in India. Gandhi was imprisoned in 1922, 1930, 1933, and 1942, all separate times. While in prison, he was known for going on these hunger strikes. So um, his fame was so real that his death in prison would make international headlines and greatly embarrass the British at a time when Britain was condemning dictators in Europe. The longest Gandhi ever fasted was for 21 days. This flag was adopted in 1931 by the Indian National Congress Party. You can see that wheel once again there in the middle, that symbol of national pride and self reliance. Um, the Indians are going to celebrate their independence from British rule on August 15th, 1947. And then they will have their first prime minister and a very dramatic ceremony to mark the end of the British rule. Okay, so that's it for today. That's a couple new topics that I wanted to cover with you, and we'll do this each week. So next Tuesday will be pretty similar. This exit slip question then will be your only thing that you need to answer for today. That will be done on Classroom. Okay, so what were the positives and the negatives of the British being in India? So that was back a few slides, okay, before we talked about Gandhi. You're going to read something about Gandhi for tomorrow, and then for Thursday, you'll have some photos that you're going to analyze of Gandhi. Okay. Once again, hope you all are doing well, and I'll see you soon, hopefully. Bye.